Are you ready to challenge yourself and think bigger? I'm your host, Marianne Marchese, and together we'll hear the unfiltered, unscripted stories of those who've taken big risks and transformed their bold ideas into reality. Season 2 is brought to you by multi-award-winning law firm Legalite, where bold ideas thrive. In 2005, Christofi was $348,000 in debt, working out of his parents' study. That's where he started Reventon, now one of Melbourne's leading property investment and wealth management firms, with more than 10,000 clients, over $3.5 billion in sales, and a best-selling book. But the most meaningful number is how much Chris has raised through his philanthropy efforts. Chris is the all-time highest fundraiser in the 20-year history of the St Vinnies CEO Sleepout, nearly $1.4 million raised for Australians facing homelessness, and he's held that title 2 years running. Chris, so lovely to see you again. Welcome to Bold Ideas.
Thank you very much for being here. It's exciting to be here.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you here. Tell me about that origin story, $348,000 in debt, working out of your parents' study.
Well, that was it was a beautiful time because, upon reflection, it was the start of a beautiful company. So the goal was to become a fully integrated financial services company. So fast forward 21 years later, we achieved that. We've helped a lot of Australians get into the property market, invest safely, done some great things like you mentioned, also have a podcast which you're on, which was a great episode.
Yes.
And now I've got 4 kids, which was great. And I was speaking to my daughter before I got in and she goes, "Where are you, Dad?" I said, "I'm in Collingwood, sweetheart." She asked a lot of questions, Penelope. "What are you doing there?" "I'm on a podcast called Bold Ideas because I'm losing my hair and I have a lot of ideas. They've asked me to come on." She goes, "Really?" I said, "No." Anyway. So
that's a wonderful dad joke. I love that. Well, yeah. I'll rename this episode Bold Ideas.
There you go. But no, it's been a great journey. It's been very fun. I've learned a lot. We've helped a lot of people and we've done great things in the community. So the best is yet to come. It's 21 years young, but we feel like every day is a beautiful day. It's a new day and it's a lot of good things in front.
Yeah. What was it like, though, starting a business when you're in the red? Because a lot of people, when they start out, they might start with a little bit of savings or, they bootstrap their success, but you were actually in debt.
So what I did is I bought 10 leads. I generated 2 sales. I collected some money. Then I bought some more leads and I continued. So what was it like when I hear people start their business from $0 or a small amount of money? I wish I had $0 when I started. As you said, I was in a lot of debt. And for me, a debt is a promise that you need to fulfill. So I owed people money. So you can go bankrupt or you can really fight. And I like when I'm in those positions because the best version of you has to show up. Now, my son at the time, which the worst part of that story, and actually my hair's got up talking about it, my son was hospitalized for 2.5 weeks. He almost died. He got bacterial meningitis. So while I'm moving in, losing all my real estate, the company owes me $780,000. Everything's going bad within. I'm going out, drinking, partying, doing everything I shouldn't. It happened very fast. Then my son got meningitis, he almost died. He's in hospital for 2.5 weeks. And in my head, all I thought of was, what example am I going to give my son? You can never quit. And was it appealing? Did it cross my mind? For a very, very quick second, my sister-in-law, who knows me well, says, "There is zero chance in my mind that you will ever quit." And I was 99% proceeding anyway, but that was that little bit of doubt that I had at 1 second. I'm facing it here. What do I do?
Yeah.
And I've got my son. I've got to pay back all this debt. But I also know real estate is good. I know I can make money through real estate. I over leverage and the company I was working for into receivership. So I had the right formula. And that book that I wrote, I depicted my formula called the Reventon formula, how people can create, build and protect their wealth through using my formula, my strategy, safely for now and generations to come. So this is a formula that works. It's battle tested. And in 2017, I started an experiment and I was purchasing real estate using my methodology. When people were saying, now's not the right time, this and that. We've been hearing that for how many years? So I made sure to buy the real estate using my formula in more than one location. Because if I bought one location, people go, you got lucky, it was a good location. So I thought, what are people going to say? What location did you get? So I bought in 3 different locations, 14 properties in 3 years, 100% growth rate. had 430,000 in cash flow, 191,000 a year in passive cash flow through using my methodology. So when I say the Reventon formula works, I put my money where my mouth is, and I invested $7.5 million proving across the country that it works. So I can talk about it with great conviction and pride.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've got the results to show for it. I love that you said, you know, you were faced with that option of quitting and you just knew that you couldn't. Was what your son went through, was that a big part of that?
It was, but anyone that's ever known me since I was a kid knew that I never take the easy road out. And I'm a little bit crazy in the sense that when things are super tough and people think you're in a bad position here, I get more excited because the best version of you has to show up. When I played sports and I used to gamble playing pool for money, I used to play people that were better than me, and I used to lift and play better. So it excites me, the prospect of challenging myself and seeing when that doubt comes in your mind, how you respond. When I used to fight as well, I remember once my first fight, I was in the corner and I copped 2-3 punches and an uppercut and a cross, and I blacked out for both punches and I'm about to go down. And in my mind said, if you don't get up now, you're going to get knocked out. And I visually see it when I watched the video of VHS a long time ago, over 30 years ago. I see my mind as I get hit, I get up quickly and I start fighting back. Because in my mind I flicked, I said, you're going to get knocked out or fight.
Wow, that was
and it's kind of how I live, though. But it's how I live. It's fight or flight.
Yes.
And it's kind of how I run my business. It's how I live every day. And it's,
Where does it come from, do you think?
I get asked that question. I don't know. I've been like that since a kid. So
how long did you fight for?
I only had 7 fights.
Okay.
I love fighting.
Yeah.
But I was trying to turn professional snooker. So I had to choose one. So I had 7 fights.
2 very different sports.
My brother's a pro fighter. He's a Commonwealth and 2-time Australian champion.
Oh, wow.
So I did quite well in both, but I had to pick one. So reluctantly, I gave up fighting. Only 7 fights in. I won 4, drew 1, lost 2. But I was 17 when I was fighting. I should have been 18. So my name was Chris the Kid Christofi. No one knew why I was underage fighting the first 5 fights.
For it too.
And then I focused on snooker. I tried to turn pro, but I wasn't good enough. I represented Victoria 5 years in a row, under 18s, under 21s. I won over 100 pool events in Cyprus and Australia. And the kid I represented Victoria with is now number 2 in the world. He was number 1. He's the greatest, not Australian, he's the greatest non-British player of all time. He's won 24 ranking events. Last year he got Australia Award of Merit for his services to snooker. He's a 2010 world champion. So his name's Neil Robinson. I grew up with him. But he was a very, very special player. Remember the last time I beat him was in the under 18s, and I never beat him since. But he was
you still take credit for it. That's incredible.
He was a special player. Yeah.
Well, you went in a totally different direction, obviously. I love hearing about your success. It is truly phenomenal and you should be absolutely proud of it. But I do want to know about the hard times too, because not a lot of people talk about the really rough years. We kind of tend to hear on podcasts and things the highlight reel and the end results and when everything is amazing and wonderful. But I want to know, if you're open to it, what was the toughest period in growing Reventon?
I'm open to all of it because I think highlight reels is exactly that.
Yeah.
You see, when someone wins a trophy or a medal, you never won it on the day.
You
won it on the many years of hard work. When you're doing the hard work and no one's watching. When I used to go to the office at 2:45 in the morning till 7 p.m., 5-6 days a week, 100 hours a week, that's when all these things happened. So there was many hard times.
Yeah.
The first few years when I was paying back debt, I was in courts with someone. One of my business partners left and I owed 1.4 million, which I had to pay back to developers. I was in courts a few times, 4 years ago through a divorce, which was painful, expensive. So there was a lot of hard times. But at each of those moments, all I did was I pulled back and said, what do I need to do and what do I need to stay away from? So if I look at the most recent time, which was obviously a personal circumstance, I need to stay away from a few things. And I need to have the right people around me. I got a good spiritual person, started going to church every week, got a therapist, and these are the people that I need to be around. These are the things I need to stay away from. It was very, very difficult, but I knew that if I didn't make that choice, I would have on a slippery slope. I feel business is like that at times. And I think when you have a mentor who's been there and done that, they can guide you. A mentor that's walked the path you want to walk in the way you want to walk. So you mentioned before we have the results on the board, and we do. 21 years, it's close to 12,000 now. We've helped 3,800 property sales, 180 features, 75 plus awards. We've got the runs on the board.
Yeah.
But it wasn't always like that. But I always made myself, in any job or any career, I surrounded myself with good people, with the right mindset that could help navigate through things. So you said, was I always like that as a kid? I think yes. And the reason I was always like that, I identified I was not a good student. I was never going to be best in class. I know I could outwork anyone, and I know I'm very good with people. So I leaned into my strengths and I went and spoke to the right people. I got the right mentors, and I was relentless in my pursuit of improving, in my pursuit to become a better CEO, to become a better father. So Kaizen was something that, it's a philosophy that I live by. It's my company at 1% better every day, small habits. And I educate myself a lot. So it's ironic because I failed year 9 at school and I didn't read a book. But if you look at the last 2 years, I read 83 books and 137 books.
Wow.
For someone who's dyslexic is pretty impressive. And how did I do that? Because people ask. I said, well, I bought the audio version and then I bought the hard copy. Then I put it in my ears and I'm listening to it while I'm looking at the words.
That's
so
smart.
I can visually see it. It can keep me engaged and I can listen to it. So I can take in the content twice as much. Now, if you're listening to something, you retain about 10% of the information. If you write it down, you might retain 20, 30. If you talk to someone about it, it could be 50%. Where you really learn is when you teach something. So I used to write things down. I used to teach my teams when I read books. And when I would go into a genre of a book, whether that be Stoicism, whether that be sales, I'd get 5, 6 books in that genre. I'd stay in that genre.
Wow.
And I'd learn all these things on how my brain would work and how I could retain information. And learning for me, it's the weirdest thing because I was never a good student, fascinates me, but I need to be learning something that I feel is going to help me. A self-help book, how to become a better CEO, a better person, a better human being. I could do that 30 hours a day. Put me in a classroom, within 2 minutes, I'm fidgeting, I'm looking around, I'm doing things, I'm annoying people, I'm getting kicked out because I'm just not interested.
Yeah. I think it's such a great example of how different all of our brains are. And you've spoken about being dyslexic, that you can still make something of yourself and apply yourself and be the best version of you. And I think, I don't know what era you grew up in, but certainly when I went to school, it was the expectation that you had to be book smart to make it in life. And that was it. That was the only option. You just had to get really good grades and, it was either maths or science. And I don't have a maths brain. But now I think it's a lot more accepted.
You see, you're obviously run a successful law firm, you're a lawyer, so you are very smart. And I always admired people that had that. I knew that wasn't my strength. And what era did I grow up? I'm a 79 baby, so I turned 47 in October. But I knew what I knew, which was I love working, I love people, I can work all day, every day. I started my first job when I was 10. And I know that I wanted to make things happen. So for me, I was never book smart, but I was always street smart. And what I mean by street smart is I could look at the room and analyze who I wanted to talk to. I was very friendly. I was very, very good at sales. And I just wanted to learn more and more. And even though I was anywhere when I've been the top 3 salesmen, if not the best in any job I had, door knocking, telemarketing, selling finance, selling property, I would outwork, I'd outlearn everybody. I'd go to seminars, I'd read books. I would go out with people that in 11 months, I was 9 times bestseller. 2 times I came second. And the 2 months I lost, I said to the Duncan and Valero, do you mind if I come out with you and piggyback? And they go, are you serious? I go, yeah. They go, why? I just want to see what you're doing and see if I can sharpen myself a bit. They go, but you get us almost every month. I go, that's okay. And I'd always pick things up. I might have forgot to do something because I've been doing it so often. I'm on the road all the time. And I'd always learn on how I can become more efficient. And I was never too proud at school when you didn't have Google and all this stuff to ask the dumb questions. People would laugh at me because they go, how did you not know that? But I didn't. And I would pick up my hand, I'd ask, or I'd probably yell out depending on what mood I was in, because I want to know the answer.
Yeah.
I'm not going to laugh along and I've got no idea what you're talking about.
How much of that, idea of being 1% better every day have you brought into Reventon
It's
itself?
everything. It's an obsession. It's not I didn't bring it into Reventon. If anyone who's known me, when I started my podcast, Relentless Life on Your Terms, they go to me, Chris, tell us a bit about you. And I said, nah, that's going to be biased. I'm going to give you 8 to 10 people who know me for 10 plus years and you're going to ask them that question. See what they say. After it all, they said, Chris, they almost said the identical same thing.
Oh, really?
I said, of course, because I paid them and gave them the script.
Yeah, exactly.
They go, what did they say? They said that you're relentless, that you don't stop.
That's a good name for the podcast then.
Which is why it came up with the name. They said, you don't stop. You are relentless. If it's in your mind, you become obsessive. So I became like that when it came to my personal growth, when it came to communication, when it came to relationships with my colleagues, with my friends, with my kids, with my clients. And it's not really difficult because I love it. I want to know where's the areas that I can get better here? How can I get better? Difficult conversations I love because I want to understand what the other person's thinking on how I can, communicate better. So I've become very, very proficient in difficult conversations because I lean into them with love, with respect, with kindness, and I listen. And I'm not listening. I'm not asking questions so I can talk. I'm asking questions to understand and so I can actively listen to how I can help this situation, how I can serve this situation. And that's definitely helped me. So that was the first question. And the other one?
Yeah, and I wanted to ask, do you apply a similar philosophy to your team members and to your kids?
I do my best to do that. I'm not a forceful person. I'm extremely forceful with myself, with my goals.
Because you're very motivated in being your best self. And as you said, it's like it is an obsession. And I'm saying this because I relate. And I do wonder how much of that translates to the way you develop your team and raise your children. I used to be
like that, but now I'm not because I read a lot on Stoicism and I want to be ridiculously have high standards with my own expectation of myself, but I want to be lenient with others. So I want to show them by relentless example how to be, but I can't force them.
No.
I don't want to force my kids. I don't want to force my team. I don't want to force my clients. Back in the day, I'm not going to probably say forceful, but I'm bringing everyone along. It's the way I was.
For other people too.
I had to. Like, I can't understand why you don't want to do this, why you don't want to proceed, or if I'm doing this, you're doing this. And why it created great results, I think I could have done it in a much nicer fashion. And now as I'm getting older, maybe it's because I'm a lot more spiritual, maybe it's my work that I do at the church every Sunday, maybe could be a mixture of my divorce, my 4 kids, could be everything. I'm very, I'm not a forceful person. I'm obsessive, I'm relentless. But if you don't want to do it, no problem. Now, if you work for me and you don't do your role, I'll have no hesitation saying, look, I don't think it's working.
Yeah.
No
and
hesitation.
Have the difficult conversations.
Easy.
Yeah.
I'll have it easily.
Yeah.
But if you want me to push you, like if you're someone that loves to be pushed like me and you want that, I'll push you until you say I can't take it. No problem. Because I respond to that.
Yeah.
But it has to be that we're both on the same page. So with my kids, they'll tell you, I'm not forceful if I am, or if I say to them, like, as an example, I took them to a pilgrimage in Ballarat. A lot of older people, my daughters wanted to kill me. And I said, I'm not asking you this, I'm making you go. They know that I'll say that every 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
It's not an option.
It's the one thing.
Yep. And
it's okay.
It's a one thing, which is for me, but it's really for them. I'm asking, because I do so much for them, they say yes. And when they know that I say, I'm asking you, they don't argue back because they know if it was with my team member, if I collaborate and I say, this is the way I want to go, and I look at them in a certain way, like I've made up my mind, they'll respect that. Yeah, because I won't use that approach often. And if I have, it would have been very well thought out and considered. Something
that's really important to you.
Yeah, and there's a reason I've said it. You can challenge it and you can ask why, which I welcome because it gets me to rethink the process, rethink my decision. And it's always like if you look at Ray Dalio's book, He talks a lot of getting a lot of smart people in a room challenging each other, called principles. And he talks about the principles. You know, if you invest 51% of the times correctly, you'll make money. But the reason he's been one of the most successful for investing with other people, and he's got an 80% accuracy, is because he gets the smartest people in a room opposing each other. It's got to be done respectfully and with kindness, of course. And that 51 going to 70, that's not a 19% increase. It is a massive increase in certainty, in more money, in more decisions. But you need to get the right people that have emotional intelligence to be able to be challenged. And you hear like a lot of people say there's two sides to a coin, which I think there's three sides. There's your side, there's the other side, and there's the edge. I think the real smart people look at the edge. I believe this is the facts. You're very smart. Let's say we've got opposing views, but I want you to see if you can convince me, open-mindedly though, hear your views, and let's sit in the middle, because a real intelligent person, in my opinion, will look at both views on that side and that side. What are they thinking and why? With a genuine interest, not, I know, Marianne, I know you're wrong, so I'm going to prove you're wrong. No. I want to see
not
with a
about
genuine
being right
interest.
or wrong.
Remove the ego. It's not about being right.
Yeah.
It's about getting it right. There's a distinct difference. People are obsessed in being right. I told you so. I can't stand those words.
Yeah.
I prefer to get something right. And I don't mind if my team makes mistakes, because I know they're trying and I'm not going to rip their head off. If I do, they're not going to try. They're going to stop. But one thing I won't tolerate is if you don't take accountability for that error.
Yeah.
And don't make it 2-3 times.
Yes.
If you take accountability and you're honest, no problem. But if I'm going to say, who is it? If you can't do this, if you can't reflect, I don't think you can grow.
No, I agree. I think that self-reflection, self-awareness is integral to like literally everything, to your personal growth, to your relationships with others, to the sense of community. I really love that analogy about the coin. I've never thought about it like that.
Robbie Kiyosaki talks a lot about that,
Okay.
like three sides to a coin.
I love that.
And I've heard it many times.
I can relate to it a lot. I'm the middle child. I'm a lawyer. I'm a natural mediator as well. So I always kind of do like to see the other side to something and engage in really healthy debate. So I love that analogy. I'm going to use it one day.
Well, I've taken it from somewhere and I'd love you to use it.
In addition to being your host, I'm also the founder of Legalite. If you're looking for a law firm that can work with your bold ideas, not against them, you can join the movement for better legals at www.legalite.com.au or follow us on Instagram at legalite_au. So you've built your business helping Australians get into property. And on the flip side of that, you also work in the homelessness space, raising lots of money through the St Vinnies CEO Sleepout. How do you hold those two things together? Because on the one hand, it's, getting people into homes and then, fighting a pervasive problem in society being homelessness.
Well, I think they're one in the same in the sense, like the things that I love the most, and I wrote this down in a document, it's Kaizen, being a better, kinder version of yourself, helping people build generational wealth, helping people in need, my faith and my family. So these are the things I spend 99.9% of my time in. So when it says, for me, I've been very fortunate in my life, in my career, with my family, with opportunities that are presented to me, with my God-given talents and abilities. Yes, I've worked relentlessly, but I've had the ability to do it. I've had the health to do it, and I've had the support to do it. Every time I've fallen down, I've been able to pick myself up. So I think there's a lot of great companies out there, and I've said this many times, and the mark of a great company is what do you do with your profit, with your income, to your team? How does your team talk about you? So one of our values is we care. We care about our clients, we care about our team, and we care about our community. So if you look at anything that we do, whether that be our results, our 5 out of 5 Google star rating with over 800 5-star reviews, how our team speaks about the company, 3 times great place to work with a 96% rating, and average is 60. In our industry, we've got 96, 3 years in a row, 96, 96 and 81 was the first year. that shows, it shows a great company, but with good intent. Now, my community work is beyond my company. I've been doing this for years. So before 9 years, I've been doing Vinnies. For about 15, 20, probably closer to 20. Every Christmas and New Year's, I get 5 to 10 cards and I sit my kids around the table. Used to be just Alec and my partner, and we write a card out. We put a couple $100 in each card. We buy food and we go out and we hand them out to people experiencing homelessness. But you can't give the money and the food and walk away. You need to sit there and talk to them and understand their story. So that's how I got into Vinnies. So for me, it's an integral part in, tough word for me to say that one. It's a very important part of what I do as a living. I've been able to attract and retain better talent. The community understands who we are. Now, authenticity is everything. I talk about it with passion. It's very, very easy to see that it's important to me. 9 years indicates it's important to me. 15, 20 years beforehand indicates it's important to me. You mentioned we've raised 1.4 million. 600,000 was donated by me and my company. So when I ask people for money, I donate my time and my money. You can tell someone's genuine. Now, ironically, after 9 years, it's starting to come back around, more clients, more this, more that, which is great. Very happy for about that. Because one of my personal slogans is earn more, give more. And that's a recent thing that I put up. Used to be back yourself. That. So I want to earn a lot more money because I want to give a lot more. And I want to measure these things because what gets measured gets done. What gets measured can optimize and improve. So I measure everything, I measure everything that I mentioned to you today. I've got it measured on an Excel table and I know it all up here. Just the way I am.
Yeah. Yeah, you're data driven.
I am. I'm very left brain to probably a weird obsession with everything, but it's just the way I am. I accept it. I know who I am.
Yeah.
My ex-wife would know. My partner knows. They'll ask questions and they go, oh my God, do you have this? I go, yep. Like I could have been a lawyer in a previous life and I wanted to be, but when I saw 4 or 5 years of studying, it was one of the careers that I wanted because I love talking and I love solving issues and helping people.
Yeah.
But when I saw the studying the curriculum and maybe my, 30% TR score didn't allow me to get in school, so I had to choose a different path.
Could have got there the long way around, but
I would have definitely been the scenic route.
I think you were made for this role, and I haven't met a lawyer yet that's good with numbers and data driven, so you landed in the right.
I did have a funny compliment. Well, I was up in 2 years and ugly. I don't think there's a nice divorce, and I'm in court, and I'm so data driven that I had, I think, it was a very big law firm, Landers and Rogers, opposing me, and they said to my lawyer, "Does this client do any work, or you just sends time in its Excel tables?" And I took that as the best compliment.
I said, "Thank you. That's
can you
so
write
sweet.
back, thank you so much." I cannot tell you that I'm a nightmare. They're up against a fact machine with everything documented. Yeah. And I said, I really got under their skin. Like there's a team of lawyers and they made a point to write that in the document. And I said to my lawyer, shout out to Blackwood Lawyers, Caroline, who's the best in the business. I said to her, this is fantastic. We went for a celebratory lunch to say, this is pretty good, huh? She goes, does this guy do any work? They go, well, if you're up against me, you better come prepared.
You're going to need the data.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. You spoke before about your work with Vinnies and that you've been doing it for such a long time. And I've heard you say somewhere that you don't do it for the records, even though you've broken records, I should say, but you don't do it for the records. So I'd love to know what does motivate you.
Well, look, I do it. Everything I do is for numbers because that's what motivates and inspires me. And records and trophies and awards for me as a human are important. That's why I document them so well. But it's the impact that they have. I lead with impact because people can engage. I can get people along for the journey with impact. Numbers, I'm left brain crazy. I'm not going to share that with you, but I know everything because it's what motivates me. So when I looked at the highest fundraiser of all time, I knew all of his numbers because I had to beat him, which I did. Know, is that important? Is it ego? Maybe, I don't know. But I knew that it was going to motivate me and inspire me. So I know what works for me. So I had a table side by side in our first 8 years. He raised $1 million, I raised $1 million, I overtook every record he had, which was my goal. So the last year I didn't have anything in place. I don't perform as much. I'm not as driven. So
that's interesting.
It is. So going back, is it the records? They are important, but for me it's the impact. Having a small company like us being the highest of all time, and we beat some companies with thousands of employees, billion-dollar businesses, and we're like a team of 70, 80. But we pack a punch. We're like the Spartan 300. We're very strong. We're very committed. We're very determined. How can I raise more money than them? 2 ways. I have to be creative. I have to use my other abilities. I'm not going to get a check for 200,000, so I had to put more money of my own. I ran 5 Lead with Kindness events. I had an idea to buy a house, pay it off, and donate it to charity. 140,000. $251,902 got donated back, tax-free because it was bought in a trust.
Oh, wow.
So
clever.
all of these ideas was how I overtook the guy in the same amount of time.
Wow.
So I had to become more creative, but there was no way I was not going to do these things. I put it out in my head. It was the second year I heard Vedran speak, who's also an OMA, said, someone's got to beat me. Who's going to? And I went up to him and I said, first of all, you're a very inspirational man, but I'll take
Secondly,
that piece.
I'll beat you.
I'll take it. And he looked at me and smiled. He beat me once, twice again, and then I just outperformed everything. But I took that challenge on at heart.
Yeah.
He was a beautiful man, very helpful. When I beat every record he had, he even donated to me when I bid over 250 grand.
That's
and I called him and said, thank you. But yeah, it's nice having when someone eventually overtakes me, I'll be very happy. I'll be cheering them on. I'll be giving them tips because we're fighting the same battle.
Yeah.
It's competition without opposition. We're on the same team. But I know what gets me out of bed. I know what motivates me. If I can push you a little bit more and it's going to the same cause, it's a win-win.
Healthy competition.
Yeah. So for me,
the same outcome.
Yeah. We're on the same team. And I always think to myself, and this is, people might call it arrogance, if I had a team member, would I want me on my team? And the answer is I would always want me on my team.
Yeah.
I show up, I'm loyal, and I'll outwork people.
Yeah.
So I'm a good team member to have.
Yes.
So that's how I look at it.
And that's such a great example for anyone in their career or starting a new business, that dedication, the commitment to being your best, that you can do it despite what hardships you faced. I think you're absolute living proof of that.
But they'll mold you. So hardships are just that's an opportunity to show up. Diamonds are formed under extreme pressure. I say that a lot. So when things are at its absolute worst, you're going to see the most growth. Now, if you go through something bad, divorce, the light will be at the end of the tunnel, but it might be in 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, depending on the circumstance. If you stay positive and you just make little steps every day, I only had one goal when everything happened to me: show up to work. That's it. Put a suit on, smile and show up. And from that I built. I did a little bit more. Started reading again, started doing the right thing, started to train again. So I just built on simple blocks because, everything starts with a single step. Absolutely. So all I wanted to make sure is little things that I could commit to not let myself down and build on it. So if you look at any challenge in your business, personal, business, if you look back in 6 months, I bet you'll see why. 12 months, you'll see better, depending on how big the challenge is. Now, I've been fortunate to have a lot of challenging situations in my life, personally and professionally, but through every single one, I became a new version of myself. It was a blessing. It was been the best teacher that I had in my life at the time.
Absolutely.
And you find a different gear. You read books like Habit Loop, you become more spiritual, and you start to understand how your brain works and what works for you. And you hang around good people. Yeah. Very, very easy to let things go. And it's very, very easy to, and I've let go more than anyone. I've made more mistakes than anyone I know, but I've owned all of them. I've never blamed any mistake on anyone other than me for my weaknesses, things that I could have done better, and I need to get better. That's it. I've never blamed any circumstance on anyone other than myself. No. You never hear that from me. I think
we are all in control of our own destiny. You get to choose the choice you make. I don't believe anything happens to us. I think it happens for us.
100%. And you can be accountable and grow. For me, if you've got a victim mentality or a champion mentality, will say everything about you. The people that create great things, it comes usually from a place of darkness, from a place of challenge, from a place of lack, from a place of void. So Eckhart Tolle, all these people, when you understand their stories, they're profound in their approach to get better, to learn, to evolve.
They've had like a huge shift in their life. Something's happened and then it's shifted it.
And it's happened to everyone.
Yeah.
We're not unique or special in that regard.
No, it's the human
Bible
experience.
says every story you can think of is in there 100 times over. You've got any lesson that you can imagine is in that book. It's been written well before we were here.
Yeah.
And you can learn from that. You don't even have to be religious. You can still learn from different religions or different examples and what they've drawn from.
Tell me a bit more about that. Did you become spiritual later in life?
When I was a kid, I used to go to church on Sundays. My parents would take me. My father is extremely religious. My mother is too. Then I stopped going. I'd only go on the main days. You know, Christmas, Easter, all that.
Yeah.
Maybe about 2.5, 3 years ago, I had a calling to go back. Don't know why. I did. So every single Sunday, I'd show up to South Melbourne Church, which is where I go. And I'd go there about 7:30 in the morning till 11. So I'd be the first there before the priest. And he'd see me there every single week. I think I missed 2 or 3 weeks in a year. Then he came, Chris, you need to come to confession. I said, sure. When's the last time you confessed? I don't remember. People are usually uncomfortable. I said, not me, Father. Ask me whatever you want. And I asked him, and he's just shocked, like how forthcoming I was. He goes, I want you to come and help me. I said, what do you mean come and help you? He goes, I want you to become a sacrist. I said, what's a sacrist? It's a sacrist. Every Sunday I help at the church. And again, I go there, I prepare the church for him at the back of the altar, do Holy Communion, all that stuff. I've been doing that since the 8th or 10th of August last year, but I've been going to church for about 2 or 3. So my father's very religious, and January this year I got awarded which was the biggest honour I've ever received in my life. So I won Australian Businessman of the Year at Cub. I won a massive award in Cyprus, highest fundraiser of all time, but one that was even a little bit more special. I won the Gold Cross for the Christ Loving, which was in front of 1,000 Greek parishioners. My father was very proud.
No, he must have been so proud.
That was definitely. I got a cross, so that was and anyway, on the 10th, and I'll share a really funny story with you. So it's the first day, and I go, Father, I can't do this. I'm not going to sit at the back there holding a candle. I'm going to go up in flames or something when I walk up there. And he goes to me, nah, Chris, you got to come. I go, I can't. He goes, you got a beautiful heart, and I want people I love beside me. I go, you sure? Anyway, first day, it's pretty nerve-wracking. You know, walk in front of 150 parishioners holding the candle, the cross, whatever it is. Oh, my God. So I pop my head out, which you're not supposed to do, very, very bad. So I look out, I go, oh, my God. My ex-mother-in-law and her partner happened to go to church. It's the first time ever. And I go, on the day that I'm selected to do this, I go, are you kidding me? So I walk out. They look at me. They're as shocked as I am.
That's funny.
I reached out. I grabbed both their hands. And I walked around and I'm like, what are the odds?
Oh, my God.
It was the 8th or 10th of August last year. I forget which one it was. I wrote it down. And then he said to my ex-wife, he goes, I've seen everything now. So Chris walking around, it was my first day. And I'm like, are you shitting me?
That's brilliant.
What are the chances?
Well, they must have got a calling that day as well to go to church.
It was her mother's an emotional, which is 40 days after they passed.
Oh,
and I'd really go. So it just happened to be that day, happened to be that first day that I walked down, I look out and I go,
oh my gosh.
You're shitting me, yeah? So I walked out and then he goes, I've seen everything.
I've seen it all
because
now.
people that know me, I try my best, I do my best, but I've got a crazy side. I used to gamble, I used to do a lot of things. So there's very different sides of me. I'm a bit of an enigma. Yeah. I was always a hardworking, generous person, but I've got a crazy element as well.
Yeah.
Always have. But it's me as a kid. I'm very boisterous.
Played snooker.
But also, I did a lot of things.
You've done a lot of things.
So people that know me well, like my best friends, my current partner or my ex-wife, they'll know that he's got a few shades.
Yeah.
But I own all of them because they are me.
I mean, that's human. You know, we've got different sides to ourselves. We're not singular identities. And I love that you've leaned into it all.
But it's all me. So people see the one side that does this or does that. Then they might see me do something that's absolutely nuts. And that's me as well.
It's still you.
It is.
It's still you. What's your vision for Reventon for the next 5 years?
Well, look, I think we're only getting started. And I think the market changes. So you always need to listen to your clients and you need to listen to data. I am looking at different products now. We're heavily into residential real estate. We did also have a financial planning one, which I had to sell, but there's different products that I'm also looking at going to market, maybe looking international because I'm from Cyprus. There's good opportunities there. So all I want is my clients to get better information, newer products. I want to offer opportunities to my team members so they can grow and prosper, which is very, very important, and never become complacent. So my vision when I walk into Reventon every January is to not recognize it, that we've evolved and grown through our people, through our abilities, through our clients. So it's a vision that I've had since, I guess, every day. And I remember my ex-COO who was with me 8 years, every January I'd come in and I go, this is going to be our best year ever. He goes, you say that every year. I go, well, I genuinely believe it is. And B, I'm going to be right sooner or later, aren't I? So sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
Well,
but
it could be your best year every year. And then you're
like,
this is going to be our best year.
But he heard it for I think he told me on the 5th or 6th year. He goes, you say that every single year. I go, well, I genuinely believe.
Yeah.
But it's
that optimism that I think you need.
I'm internally optimistic with everything that I do. I want to help a lot more people, both financially and also with my work I do at the church and work I do with Vinnies. That gets me excited. That's what really motivates me. And I want to spend more time with my kids. So like now I'm very excited because I'm going to go home and see my 3 daughters, which is beautiful. And yes, I'm in a very, very fortunate position. I love what I do at work, love what I do on the weekends, do a lot with Vinnies, which is great. And I get to spend time with my family. So I'm in a very fortunate place. You mentioned hardships and that, and it's just a highlight reel. I don't really post what I do on the weekends, and I do so much cool stuff. I post my work. I post my client results. I've got nothing against people to do that. It's just not me. I want to be present. I want to be doing things. Saturday, people posting on Sunday. I'm at the gym. I go when I don't have the kids. I'm there Saturday. I'm there Sunday. I don't need to post that or read it. And I'm happy that people do because it's great. It's a great example. But I'm in a very content place where I just want to keep pushing because.
Well, you've earned it. You've always followed, carved your own path and gone out and gotten it. So you deserve it.
Well, thank you. As I said, I got a lot of good people around me. People ask me, how do you do so much? Podcast, business, I said to them, it's very easy. They go, how? How do you have 4 kids? 3 of them are young. I said, I couldn't do it without my sister, who's probably I love her more than anything outside my kids. Jenny, who's my PA, and Shayla, the people, my direct team, allow me to do all these things. Absolutely. So they are a reflection of everything that I do, how I perform. And when we talk, before we spoke a few times about spiritual, my dad didn't tell me. He showed me. And I'm a big advocate of, don't tell me what to do, show me.
Show me.
And as a parent, I'm not going to tell you, hey, you shouldn't be smoking. Meanwhile, I've got a cigarette in my mouth. I'm not going to tell them to force them to go to church. But if I go every single Sunday, I'm there. They cannot book anything till 12 o'clock. Any Sunday, they said, Dad will say no matter if it's a play date or nothing. My ex-wife booked a drama class for my youngest daughter, Miller. And she goes, it's a Sunday. She goes, I know you won't go. I say yes to her for absolutely anything for my kids. On that specific Sunday, or any time, she goes, I know you won't go, I'll take them. I said, thank you, because I won't do it. They don't even ask me because they know when you do something so religiously, consistency is how you breed trust.
Yeah.
So if you want someone to trust you, be consistent in your actions and do what you say with your team and your kids.
Absolutely.
So if they know if I say it, they can carve it in stone. It's going to be done.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I've got one final question for you.
Fire.
What piece of advice do you have for someone who has a bold idea of their own?
Just start. Surround yourself with good people. Remember to have fun. It's so much more important to try something than have the regret of not trying. Failing's fine because you never fail, you learn. So you win or learn. So just put a smile on your face. You're going to have to deal with this anyway. It releases good endorphins. It gets people more engaged. Smile and give it a go. And I always use the adage, the best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. Write your BHAG and your big, hairy, audacious goal. Write it all down. But start with small, actionable steps. A great book by James Clear's Atomic Habits, Habit Stacking and Small Things. Start small. You can read a book. Start with 1 page. Small. and do it every day.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the most practical advice. Just get started. What's the worst that can happen?
Absolutely. And it's progress over perfection. And I think,
100%.
For a lot of type A personalities out there, it's never going to be perfect. And it's never going to be the perfect time.
What is perfect?
It doesn't exist. Does not exist. So
just try your best. I say to my kids, give me your best. That's all I'm asking.
That's it.
Your best, if you do something with pride and you put your best foot forward and you keep improving 1%, that might not look like much in a month, in 6 months, but in a year you're going to look back and go, I've gone so far. In 2 years, 3 years. Play the long game. People underestimate overestimate what they can do in a year, but underestimate what they can do in 5. Play the long game and make progress. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's absolutely brilliant advice. You are an absolute testament to everything that you have said today. You practice what you preach, and you should be so proud of your success. It's been such a pleasure having you.
I always love talking to you. You can do this all day. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. If you loved what you heard, make sure you follow the podcast so you never miss an episode. Or even better, leave us a review. And if you have a bold idea of your own, I'd love to hear from you. Check out the show notes to get in touch.